days ago. He dropped this. which is a...
I didn't even see that tweet. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh, yeah, that's all. That one's gotta be a dagger. That's rough.
The things that have come out, the drama, the scandals, the new information is insane. It's probably the most drama-filled month in the history of Twitch. It's imploding in front of our eyes. And welcome back to Mogul Mail. We got to cover everything today.
He caught himself in the crossfire for a minute too. When he was in the call with XQC and Hassan during the debate, I suppose. I don't even know if debate's the right word for it, but he was there and he was just being like a general neutral party, and chat ate him alive for no reason. I felt so bad. The juicers fucking tore into him like piranhas. He didn't even do anything. Like, just because he was just calmer about it, they like ate him for no reason. He's a tier 1 Baxter in the resub. Emma audits Johan in the prime. Rabbit and emails. Oh yeah, here, wait. Sorry, I had the volume on from last night. Here.
But let's go back to the start. All right, if you missed anything, I will cover it all. It all started about 22 days ago when Cutie announced Shit Camp. That is her big event. It involves a bunch of creators all coming together to foster friendships and then also create
that was the genesis
bigger than the sum of its parts. However, there was some initial feedback that was kind of negative about the event, especially on the live stream fail subreddit that said this event is an easy skip because Soda Poppin' is not going to be there. And that wouldn't really matter normally. However, one of the big people that were meant to go, XQC,
He's a prime tuna in the resub J,
decided to not go the day of. How did he let the people know who were running the event that he was not going?
In the tier
1
BW.
In his offline chat, which he now admits was wrong to do, but here it is. This is it. He said, I'm not going. Soda's not going. I don't feel like it. I need Soda to run good stuff for me to feel comfortable, all that, yada, yada, yada. Which kind of left the event with somewhat of a bad taste in the people who were there, and also maybe some of the viewers. It helped perpetuate the narrative that they were already sharing. Now, X has apologized for this. Whatever, doesn't matter. We're just talking about what happened.
Yep,
all right?
the facts, the brass tacks.
Rob gets banned, feels bad man. After the event, Soda Poppin' does a podcast with his brother.
Oh, I forgot to mention the podcast.
Let's listen in.
And also, Wrath is coming out, so I told him way before, hey, I'm not going.
Right.
Sorry. Like, I want to say, like, months before.
Okay. All right, so let's just repeat what he said there. Wrath is coming out, World of War thing. Great. World of Warcraft. Sorry, I'm a little bit boomery here. And he's not going. And he says, I told them I'm not going to go. Well, here's the thing. That clip of Soda Poppin' was shown to XQC, and then XQC watched it, felt like his back was against the wall, and gave his real reason for not going right here.
Like, I had to make a choice. I was cornered into choosing between family and Sammy, and unfortunately what happened is that I kind of just chose family.
This is heavy stuff, all right? If you don't understand,
way too heavy for Twitch.
About the real reason for him not going being he had some personal issues with his relationship and his family. Sammy was his ex-girlfriend, and he had to choose in some situation that they were in between his family and between his girlfriend. That was a situation that he was in, and that was the reason he did not go. Not the Soda Poppin' is not there. But because that clip that said, I told them I was not going, was shown to XQC, and he interpreted it as, I told him I'm not going, he shared this information, which led to a crazy saga where they had a very, very, very public breakup because Sammy saw that, a.k.a. Adept, then talked about what she felt about the situation, then XQC reacted to what she was talking about in her reaction to him, and then they ended up talking together online, which led to this moment,
Oh, he's going to play a clip from it. This was perhaps one of the most uncomfortable moments in Twitch broadcast history. Sitting through watching that streamer get fucked was more comfortable than watching this. You should never air out private information like this. I think this was very unfortunate for everyone involved. But LSF was eating good when this one happened.
It's crazy that this was broadcast.
You know how I am. Okay, I don't cut it halfway. I have to go all the way. I don't have things above my head all fucking day.
I can't do this with you anymore. You are not a victim here. You have never been a victim here. I'm done speaking with you. You are not a victim victim.
It's
Stop
okay.
victimizing yourself.
This is the Kendrick Lamar we cry together moment of Twitch. It's the biggest streamer in the world that had 120,000 viewers. Crazy.
Yeah.
And this is where the story would normally end. However, in the midst of all of this is when Slicker came out as a scammer.
That's right.
This whole thing, he was sending the videos to people. I made a mogul mail about this a couple days ago. That goes.
Can you believe that was 3 days ago? 3 days ago. It feels like an eternity now. Oh my lord. Time is moving so differently. Like, you probably can't even find this in the first 50 pages on LSF.
Was a little more in depth about it, but basically this streamer Slicker was revealed to be scamming almost like 100 people out of over $300,000. Crazy stuff there. Here's the total tally.
Yep, CoffeeZilla made a video.
55 people on this
More
list
accurate.
owed money right now, and the total scam is over $384,000.
Way more than I thought.
And what did I learn from these 55 people? Well,
CoffeeZilla goes more in depth about that. And quick little bow tie on that one, by the way. Me and XQC are teaming up to pay people back. Why XQC? I think in part he feels guilty because he's earned a lot of money gambling. Maybe it's a good PR thing. Maybe he's just rich and doesn't care. Why am I doing it? Because you will probably see a stupid mobile game sponsor on Mogul Mail in the next month or so. And that's all I have to do is do one little sellout that hopefully you guys are okay with, and I can make dozens of people's lives a lot better, which to me feels like a worthwhile trade-off. All right, I don't.
That's so wholesome.
I don't mind shilling out for some terrible mobile game, and unless they're listening to this, in which case you're
terrible.
Right, in exchange for doing a positive.
What do you mean terrible?
So that's that there. Very good, very awesome. Slicker, by the way, has got his sub badge removed. He is no longer a partner on Twitch. He's not even an affiliate anymore.
RIP sponsor.
He's not banned yet. I think he should definitely be banned. But at the moment, not banned, but cannot make money on the website. And that's where you would think the story would end. That's where you would think the story would end. And in like conjunction with the Slicker story, there was a big movement. People were using that as a big movement to remove gambling on Twitch.
That's right.
Which I think is an okay thing to do, by the way. The first thing you should do in any situation is make sure the victims are okay, which is what I did. I offered to pay for the victims, and that's the step I'm doing to make sure the victims are okay. The second thing...
I want to address a couple of dumb takes I saw about that, saying you shouldn't bail out the victims. It's Slicker's responsibility. This just gives him a get-out-of-jail-free card. That shows me that the person who says that doesn't actually care about the situation, because the only thing that matters is the victim. Who got scammed, and can we fix it? If the answer is yes, then you need to fix it. It doesn't matter if it's Slicker being the one to fix it. Who cares? It's a dumb take. I saw a few streamers say that, saying, "Oh, well, now Slicker gets off scot-free and doesn't learn anything from this. He needs to be the one to pay them back." And I think it's dumb that Ludwig and XQC are doing it. It's stupid. I think that's very dumb. As long as the victims get paid back, that's what matters, because they're the ones that were affected, not the streamers that are reacting to it. I think the victims care more about getting their money back as opposed to some sense of justice or moral high ground or some magic school bus lesson learned from this whole thing.
And I think it is okay to use momentum talking about how gambling is bad to make a positive change for the future, aka remove gambling on Twitch. Now, the gambling Slicker was doing wasn't even slots, right? To be clear,
sports
he was
betting.
gambling on like tennis matches and golf matches. However, gambling
fucking
is
sucks
still
at sports
the topic,
betting, clearly.
And if you can use something to make positive change, I think that's fine. And that's what someone like Mizkif did. Like if Twitch should ban gambling. Even Pokimane did the same thing. Got a bunch of likes for it. I would say a little maybe less genuine when it came from Mizkif, because I don't think he was as concerned with the victims as maybe riding the momentum to say screw gambling. Because, you know, he's done gambling sponsorships in the past.
He's a prime Bobby, Martian, Marisa, Big B,
came a
Samaric,
really
cranky
weird thread. Because Mizkif was really riding this "we gotta ban gambling" thing. Even Asmongold said, "How is Slicker not banned? All right, we should definitely ban him for scamming people." And then Train said, you know, this whole thing about how it was actually horse racing and tennis bets, and it wasn't actually slots gambling, you shouldn't try to target people like me. Mizkif replied to that saying, if you're going to deplatform people for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Joltcoin a few years back?
I bet that is one of the biggest regrets in Mizkif's life right there, just typing that dunk. Because that turned into something much, much bigger than I think anyone could have ever expected. That's one of those where I bet he thinks to himself, damn, that should have stayed a draft. Like, that's just one of those things where, like, maybe you just argue with yourself in the shower. Like, you know what? Oh, I'm so upset. I wish I'd said this. But then don't do it. Because, goddamn. But a good thing did come out of it, for sure.
I don't really know the reference. I guess Train at some point took a crypto called Joltcoin to make money. And then Train replied with an absolute bomb. All right? They were trading jabs, and he went for the Hail Mary uppercut, said, are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up all those sexual assaults, you fucking scumbag piece of shit? You want to come at me and make shit up, then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure pussy.
Goddamn. Yeah.
All right.
Wow is right.
Here. Let me break it down for you.
Even his cat can sense it. She's like, whoa, holy shit, I gotta get in here. Was that juicy fucking drama? Cats know. Ida does it all the time. Remember when we were watching Smash? She was glued to it. Shit was crazy.
Of Mizkif, a guy that Mizkif lives with, called Crazy Slick. He's a streamer in his own right. And Crazy Slick had was accused of sexual assault by a streamer named Adriana Lee about a year ago. And it kind of died out very quickly. The general story went that they were at a party together. She was feeling very sick, very drunk, went to a bed to be by herself. Crazy Slick went in, and then when she was like passed out, not really fully there with full consciousness, touched her inappropriately. Right? That's what Adriana said. And then Slick was like, no,
he didn't even pet the cat,
which is weird to do. You don't. What are you? Like Dr. House? That you don't have to do that. That's a weird thing to do. Shouldn't touch someone who doesn't want to be touched, and especially who can't consent to being touched. Right? Straightforward. But the original twit longer about that, which came out, I guess, over a year ago now from Adriana, got shoved down, and kind of got stopped talking about very quickly. Why? Well, I guess we found out from this Train tweet, and this was uncovered by Adriana herself on her stream and many other people's streams. Well, Mizkif sent Maya and Mitch Jones to cover it up. AKA, I guess they went to Adriana and asked her to speak more nicely about Crazy Slick than she might have wanted to. Speak less honestly about the incident so that it wouldn't hurt Crazy Slick as much.
Who is Mitch Jones? Streamer. Everyone being mentioned here is a streamer in some capacity. They don't all run in the same packs, I don't think. Like, I don't think Mitch Jones is, like, super big into the Austin crew. I'm really not sure. But pretty much everyone you're going to hear here is a streamer. Thanks to the resub, you boy, Mike, and Cruisin', and Tier 1 Tripster. Mitch lives with S-Band? I actually had no idea. I did not know that. Drama giving me a headache from the information overload. No, this is like a full body experience, like taking in all of this information, and it's constantly changing too, which is the wild part. It doesn't just stay the same where you can catch up. If you're not like actively refreshing Twitter or LSF or wherever else, you somehow miss so much shit. It's just crazy to me. I've never seen something like this before. Not even on YouTube. YouTube drama was always spaced out over the course of like many days, many weeks, even. Rich people problems. Well, I mean, some of it is like, streamer specific problems, but sexual assault has nothing to do with wealth, man. That's a stupid take, if that's what you're referring to. There's the resub Money, Shade, and the Prime Tesla. And the resub Boss.
And that was a way of kind of shoving it down. Which
Sexual assault is not a rich person problem that you just like brush to the side. Oh, it's just a rich person thing. What? Why do I even have to like explain that? That's what? How is that a fighting point? It's sexual assault, just rich people stuff. Just who cares? It's not important. They're rich. Who cares? Are you serious? It's so... Oh, it was bait. Oh, the guy even just said it was just bait. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was a one guy situation, but that shit was so outlandish I couldn't help it.
which is a terrible thing to do, because after that, Crazy Slick did not stop doing bad things. I mean, look at these DMs that he shared with another streamer, Fan. I'm showing you my dick. I don't care. I'm horny. Are you going to consent before I get canceled?
Jesus.
Nope, no consent. Dicks are ugly. Suck my dick, pussy. If we ever meet, you're done. On sight, you're getting bent over immediately. Your hair's getting pulled so hard, you're chokeslammed while I thrust you from behind. Thrust is a funny word. I'm sorry. That's what I'm laughing at. GG. Look at you. You should write a fanfic with this literotica shit. Why the fuck would that mean I'd send you nudes? Most girls do. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I misread. I thought you were kind of a slut. Terrible messages. Right?
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Totally,
Agreed.
Totally
yeah, those are pretty bad.
Messages. I think there's been even more messages that have come out.
And as an erotic novelist myself, it's poor work. Very amateurish work there. He didn't even use anything about gushing. Didn't even use the word sodden. Like, he's just not even good at literotica. Genghis Swan would give that not passing marks. I'll tell you right now. Here's the Prime Illusion. Resub Cool, Lamlin, Life, and Carson. A lot of you probably don't even get that reference. Back in 2016, I tried to start a career as Genghis Swan as an erotic poet and erotic novelist. I wrote 4 works. And they're timeless. You know, they're still talked about in the community. He's a tier 1 geek. Resub Israel and Bits Chippy. Not usually trippy. I guess that's something I didn't notice. Do I do it during streams or just videos? Thanks, Resub Zay. 5 gift subs retro. I didn't know I blinked a lot.
That he sent like
Thanks,
dick pics
Frog.
without consent, just unasked for, unwanted, and clearly is somebody who is not a great person in the space. It does not make a lot of the women who are around, at least the Austin area, feel safe. You know, he did the exact opposite. And the focus of this normally would be on Crazy Slick, who clearly is someone who should not be in this sphere, right? And quick little side thing over here. Crazy Slick, also irrelevant to this, someone who deals with depression, was suicidal, was missing all yesterday, which was another concern, was found. If anybody heard about that, that's all clear. He is found.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be
That was
safe
good.
now. I
That was
sent
a very,
this message as well, because I don't
scary
want people
stretch.
to die, but I don't think he should be in this space. I think it's so simple. The same problem happens in the Smash community. You make people feel unsafe in a community, you just leave the community. The world is very, very big. Twitch, live streaming sphere, very, very small. All right, very irrelevant to the whole world order. And you, all right, are lucky enough that you're not going to jail. What you should do now is apologize to those you hurt. That's exactly what I sent him. Leave the small part of the internet where the hurt was caused so that they can feel safe here. You don't have to feel safe here because you shouldn't feel safe here because you make people feel unsafe here. And then take this as an opportunity to be a new person, a better person. All right, not the person that you were. A second lease on life in a way, all right, and be a positive member to society. That's what I sent to him, and he should no longer be in the streaming sphere, plain and simple. The attention of this was barely on Crazy Slick, and barely on Adriana's story, all right? Why?
Damn, he's going into the meat of it.
On Mizkif. There was a huge Reddit thread about this and a bunch of tweets about this clip that surfaced from Miz.
I don't think there's a single person that we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's fucking, like, sexual harassment, right?
Ugh, it's such a bad clip.
No one, of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a
Even
shit.
the game
This
gave
is
a
Miz
big
speaking
moan.
way too candidly and way too stupidly about sexual assault, saying it's low scale, like there's a tier list that we have to drop every year on what sexual assault we need to rank S tier, what sexual assault we need to rank F tier, and really, I mean, showed that, you know, he was not only protecting someone who sexually assaulted someone, but
that he didn't
also
care.
very callous about the entire situation.
Yeah.
And then a little insult to injury, a little dirt in the wound. Right around the same time this is all unfolding, Ice Poseidon, who, by the way, renowned piece of shit and should not be revered in any way for exposing someone because he has never been a great member of any community, released a bunch of DMs between him and
these I probably can't show on stream. I'm not taking any chances there if he shows them. He does not. Okay, good. Yeah, no, the DMs that he revealed are bad.
his Kiv, where he's just saying every slur under the sun. I mean, he goes through them all, and this is all ranging in 2019 and 2018, so past 3 or 4 years after he was already a sizable streamer. Like,
Call?
Terrible stuff.
And the resub
to be
from.
clear, Mizkif has talked about on stream before that he used to say slurs. He admitted to it. He said, I used to say slurs. I was very edgy, and I've changed. Whether he changed because he had to, because it's the times, and that's the only way to become a successful creator, or because he wanted to morally. Either way, good to change. But it is much different to say you used to say slurs and then look at the way that you said slurs, right? That's a lot. It's a lot realer. It's a lot harder to stare at, and it's a lot harder to accept. And especially because the people that he told were his viewers, this is much different. The people who are seeing all these DMs now are no longer his viewers. I don't even really think I can show these, but
yeah, you can't. In fact, please don't.
F slur, and it is derogatory term for other minority groups. It's everything. It's the whole Mary Poppins bag, and he reached in deep for it. Which look, it is funny because 2 days ago he did this. which is
I didn't even see that tweet. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh, yeah, that's all. That one's gotta be a dagger. That's rough. That happened a lot during the Smash Bros. Situation with all the sexual scandals there. A lot of, like, they unfolded day after day after day. Kind of like this, but not to the same scale, like, not to the same frequency. It was usually, like, 1 a day as opposed to, like, 5. But what would happen is, like, one person would be out in the community is doing something terrible. Everyone in the Smash community would opine on it, being like, oh my god, I can't believe this. This is so horrible. What an absolutely trash piece of shit. I am distraught, and I am destroyed to learn this about my fellow Smash player. And then the next day, the person that made that tweet was then outed. And then the cycle just kept continuing for, like, a week. It was nuts. That was also a nutty week in gaming.
Quick says you. And that's kind of where it was ending, right? And there was different spats that were going on between streamers during all of this, relating to all of this, until today.
That man Bagel in the Prime
where
Buffalo.
Twitch dropped an absolute bomb.
Gambling.
Maybe the greatest PR move they have made in the past 2 years. Maybe the greatest policy move they've made in the past 5 years. Twitch has now banned gambling. All right? In response to the Slicker drama and the huge outcry that happened on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else, Twitch let out this statement which said gambling content on Twitch has been a big topic of discussion in the community. We've reviewed our policy. Today we want to update you on our plans. We're going to be making a policy update on October 18th to prohibit streaming of gambling sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games that aren't licensed either in the U.S. or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protection. The sites like Stake, Rollbit, Duelbit, Roobet are all going to be banned. And these
still allowing sports betting. Yep, sports betting is still going to fly. And they're an actual partner with the NFL, yeah. Sports betting has become super, super normalized. That one's going to be hard for them to try and make any kind of statement on and kick off. Nothing here is surprising on this, allowing sports betting in fantasy and poker, because It's everywhere. I didn't even think they'd go this hard. This was a shock to me. This was crazy. But yeah, I didn't think there was any world, any universe where they actually were like, no more sports betting. Because again, like Amazon's partners with like the NFL and shit. It's everywhere. So they banned a piece of Gamba, like the biggest piece. Slots is by far the biggest category. You don't see sports betting category popping off on Twitch that often. It's usually slots. So they took the biggest target and the biggest culprit with stake.com and put their feet to the fire. Oh, goddamn. Thank you for the 50 gift subs, Cheesy. Jesus Christ. And the 10 gift subs, damn cheeks. The resub Vanandi. Goddamn, thank you for that. Thank you, Cheesy. God, good lord. And yeah, people in chat are right. Slicker spent all of the money that he scammed on gambling, but it wasn't slots, roulette, or dice. It was sports betting. This man would bet on sports matches and never get it right. My theory is he would only bet on the absolute biggest payout, so outrageous odds like 5 safeties in this next game because it'll pay me out 50 grand off my 3K bet. And he'd just never win. Because it is impressive to lose as much as he did on sports betting. Because there is some level of stats you can at least look at to make an educated guess. But somehow he would never get it right, which tells me he was doing the most fringe, niche bets that just had the biggest payout. Was it just tennis? I thought it was more than just tennis for sports. Maybe it was just tennis, but even still. I was just giving an example of like fringe bets. Thanks to Tier 1 Cody and the Prime Laura and Ruben.
Main sites that were used. These are the sites that Trainwrecks uses, Trainwrecks TV uses, the site that XQC uses, the site that Drake used when he streamed on Twitch for a couple of hours. And it's a big change. It's a huge change, and I gotta admit it, a huge win for Twitch at the tail end of a crazy tumultuous 2 weeks. And what was the CEO tweeting while Twitch was going for their slam dunk? So weird that Twitter doesn't save your drafts and there's no drafts at all on the website that I can find. Does anyone know why?
Classic
don't
Emmett.
Talk about things that matter. Emmett, I don't understand.
That guy, I don't think knows he's the CEO of Twitch. I swear to God. I have a conspiracy theory. That guy's just some kind of fucking android that they fire on whenever they need him at a conference just to kind of prove that there's someone manning the helm somewhere. Because like 9 times out of 10, that guy doesn't even know what the fuck Twitch is. I swear to God. I've only seen him one time even mention Twitch when he was wearing that goofy bow tie and like talking about how context will matter going forward, and then it didn't. I really don't think he even knows he's the CEO of this platform. Now, there's a lot of critique you can toss at YouTube, rightfully so, but at the very least, if you look at Susan's Twitter, it is only YouTube W's. She's highlighting creators that are popping off or up and coming, talking about content. She interacts with the community. She was on Ludwig's show. She's been on other YouTubers' content. Like, she at least is talking to the community. Whether or not she's employing what they say, obviously not. But at the very least, she's above Emmett in the fact that she knows there's a platform that she's like operating. Emmett, I don't get that impression at all. Actually at all, I don't get that impression. And I mentioned it earlier. Yes, I saw YouTube got a big dub today. They changed the monetization model for shorts going forward to what people have been begging for like the last year. It's now no longer a shorts program you get paid on. It's like a totally different model. And they also finally, after fucking 15 years, introduced a system to allow you to license music on your videos. So that way, instead of getting copyright struck or copyright claimed, you can pay like $1 or whatever the fuck it's going to be to use that piece of music and no longer face any problems. So back-to-back dubs for YouTube today. Like, actually pretty big.
Anyway.
Still no policy changes, though. So not like a full dub all around. They really need to work on their policy and fixing a lot of the things with their automated systems. But, you know, at the very least, they delivered 2 things people have been wanting for a while.
That's it. That is about everything that happened. What should come from this? Well, people should stop gambling. which means we should have that become a much smaller category on Twitch. In the past, it's been a top 5 category, top 10 category. It should quickly drop.
Cloud
That's a
and the
great
Kratos
thing.
and give some space.
We should have Crazy Slick leave the streaming community. He should do that. You can do anything. It's all right. If you move to Wyoming and work at a Best Buy, you can be a totally new person. All right, go join the Jet program.
True.
And become
Look
a better
at Gene
person.
Takovich.
But don't be in the streaming sphere because it made people feel unsafe, and the people who felt unsafe should feel safe. Adriana should feel safe now. Right, that's what should happen. And Ms. Kiff has a lot to own up for. Now, here's the thing. Miz is Miz, in the sense that he will never be canceled unless he's deplatformed, because you are never truly canceled as long as you keep creating content. And why would he ever stop creating content? Because Miz truly lives for streaming. So I don't expect for him to disappear. I assume he will just let it die down a bit, come back in 2 weeks, and there will still be a group of people who follow him. And he has to deal with this, which will last for the rest of his life. A lot of people, maybe even more people that follow him and more people that watch him, will always think of him as someone who either protected a sexual assaulter or is someone who was racist or homophobic. Or maybe, they'll think of him as is. And that's the reality that he'll have to live with, which
that's a great point.
Deserved for what he did. He even dropped a statement himself, which I'll take a look at here.
Oh, no.
That said, we found Crazy
It's
Slick. He's not
good.
harmed, which is what I talked about earlier. In terms of living situation, Crazy Slick has to leave, which is good. A little after Slick's misconduct came to light, I made some inexcusable statements, which is the one we showed today. To Adriana, I'm sorry for those statements, which is a due apology, but should go to Adriana directly. Additionally, a series of private messages, the ones from Ice Poseidon, have been shown. I was dumb, edgy guy who said a lot of stupid things to my friends to come up as cool, funny. I can't change what I've said, but I can change who I am now. I'm sorry to everyone how it's affected. I want to apologize to OTK, and he apologized. So I think we'll see him lay low, come back in 2 weeks, and then try to stream as if nothing happened, because that's usually how it goes. Canceling doesn't exist unless you get deplatformed, and the only person...
That is a great point, and one that I've said before. Even in the most extreme circumstances of like a big holy shit, this person sucks, everyone needs to abandon this person, as long as they just pretend that nothing's going on and they just keep doing what they've been doing, they'll be fine in like a month, 2 months maybe. That is like the actual only winning move for someone that gets in that kind of position, and it works every time. Every time. It is entirely, like Ludwig said, it is entirely on them if they like get canceled, if it actually like affects them. As long as they just keep creating the content that the viewers are used to, and they just put their head down, ignore it, they'll be fine eventually, unless they're just like taken off the platform like forcibly. So he's absolutely right on that. Thanks to the resub Cheese It, or the Prime Cheese It, and the resub Jack Bradley, and the Prime Metal, Sander Baggy, and Tier 1 Belt. That didn't happen to Arcadum, though. Arcadum is still streaming, and he has pretty much the same viewership. I saw him over 1K viewers not too long ago doing a D&D night. What are you talking about? You're giving an example that proves my point. You going to bed? Thanks for some Chancellor, Beat Meat, and Tease. He's usually at 100 now. I don't know what his average is, but he's still in triple digits, I know that. And I saw him not long ago over 1,000 doing D&D. And he was always over 1,000 with DMD. Like that's what he was known for. Like they weren't watching Arcadum for the variety streaming, and they're still not. But it seems like his viewership is about the same as it was pre blow up of everything. He was at 10K. Well, that was when he was doing all the big streamer campaigns. Yeah, when he was doing all the streamer campaigns, that's when his streams were over 10K. He's a prime nut man. But he's not doing those anymore, obviously. Fed. Well, Fed left. He never. I don't remember him even trying to come back. Did he? Maybe he did. I remember he made that video about how he's been like working on himself. I have no idea. I haven't kept up with that. Damn, that was a long time ago, man. Holy shit, it feels like decades. Good lord, I feel like I got like a gray beard from all this. Remembering the past. Good god. Hey, Andy. There's some Cacparino, Fries, Mysterious in the Prime, Weeb, Swings, Nut, Reaper, and the resub Poos. He's gambling right now. Oh. Okay, maybe. I thought he didn't go back to streaming, but could be wrong. Thanks, Resub Panther. Mini Lad never came back up. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess there are exceptions to the rule. I think it always depends on the level. You know, here, we can refine this a bit, because you're making really good counterpoints. I think it really depends on what it was. It seems like when it's like a sexual assault or something sexual with women, people for some reason are more forgiving of it in the long term. So going back to my Arcanum example, he, from everything I've seen, is still near where he was. But when it's pedophilia, like in the case of Mini Lad, nobody comes back. So I think it really depends on like the public perception of what it was. I have no idea. I guess it's really hard to say. Cryonic was pedophilia, and he also left. Yeah, but you're right. Mini Lad never got back to form. He does still make content though. Well, he used to upload every single day. But like, he's still getting views. He still does have the audience. It's nowhere near what it was before all the accusations came out, but that is still a career. Thanks to Resub or Fanny. Hey, Sure4. Hope you're doing well. Thanks to Prime Wonder Weasel. And hey, Prezzo. At least he got banned. That's it, and that's right to Ludwig's point about unless it was deplatforming, he would have still been totally fine. Like that was a full blown ban. Yeah, these are a lot of good examples though, because it keeps going back and forth. Some that didn't recover despite putting their head down and ignoring it, and some that did. And there's really no line that connects them. These are just a lot of good points. Tabascus is another one, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just really tough to say. Or EDP. Bro, EDP was never coming back from that. That one, that should have been straight up jail. And he got banned from everything. Thanks to the Prime Chris and the Resub Duke and Glitch. It's other streamers' opinions. People are sheep for what? What constitutes someone who comes back after something like this? I'm confused. What was the point on that? Because, I mean, no one's talking positively about what Arcadum did, but he's still doing fine. Oh, shit. Thanks to Tier 1 Jiggly, and the Prime Gutterpunk, and the Resub Serve. And the Prime Eddie. T. Martin, CSGO Lotto. T. Martin still is doing just fine. Everyone involved in that seems to be doing just fine. Call Me Carson. Yeah, it's another good example. I don't know. It's always just hard to know how it's going to play out, I guess. But you're right. There are cases where no matter what you do, it just doesn't bounce back for you. He was giving that as an example for one where like they're like still doing okay after everything, not for the other side of the argument. Thanks to the resub, Gogu, and the Prime Brandon. And the gift sub, X2.
Person who should be getting deplatformed 100% is Slicker for scamming people out of $384,000. Twitch, that's the last thing you got to do, and then you're all set. Anyway, that's all. That's all. Probably the longest mogul mail yet. Did it in one.
A great summation.
Great about it. By the way, in good.
He didn't even mention the chess drama though. Mine was more thorough, though he went into more details and specifics. I was telling stories. Ludwig was changing lives, but he didn't even mention the chess drama, so he didn't even capture everything.
News. What happened on YouTube's side while Twitch was imploding?
Oh, here comes a promo.
Now monetized YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. They also made it easier to join the partnership program, and they created a creator music library where you can license music on your videos, which is something that's always existed through third-party websites. Think like Audio Jungle. But now you can do it directly through YouTube, which I think makes it more accessible to people who might not have known that's that entire ecosystem existed.
He has a video on the chess drama? Yeah, but not the latest, I don't think.
Arguably, the 45%
maybe he does.
split
Actually,
for YouTube is a little bit greedy, but it's already better than TikTok, so it's hard to complain, unfortunately. That's all, boys. Thanks for watching. Huge one. Hopefully, it goes back to normal stuff, and we can just talk about platform changes. Have a good one. Subscribe. Goodbye.
I've already predicted it. Don't worry, Ludwig. I've predicted 3 days of sunshine. I think we're on the refractory period now of drama. I don't think we see any more big stories for the next 3 or 4 days. That's my prediction. Thanks to Prime Rilo, and the resub Serial, and Prime Mike, and resub Scoopy, and Prime Lumpy. But I guess we'll see. Oh, how I hope you're right. Don't fucking lie to yourself. You love the drama. People feed off controversy. You can lie to yourself, but you're not lying to me like that. Thanks to the Prime Big Mike. Mini Lad didn't really recover. Everyone's dogging him in the comments. Maybe, but the views are still, like, those are still good views. Like, that's still enough to have, like, a very profitable career. Thanks to Tier 1 Arcade. You love it too, man. 50k viewers. I didn't separate myself from you guys. I've talked about drama all the way back to 2015 on YouTube. I've been very open about like internet beef being a guilty pleasure of mine to just spectate and learn about in all forms across like the most niche games. Bro, I got deep into was it Shrek Super Slam? I don't remember. It was some really niche competitive game that had a cheating scandal for tasks. I was glued to it for like a full fucking week. Like there's just I don't know. It's just interesting stories. I never really like the ones that are like genuinely heavy. Like the stuff with the sexual assault here, that's not goofy drama. That is very far from something to be taken lightly. But the very goofy stuff, like Tass and Shrek Super Slam, like, come on, that shit's insane. Yeah, Wizard 101 getting hacked and just saying dick and balls, like, that's incredible drama. Anal beads and chess cheating, like, who doesn't love that kind of shit? Hey, thanks to Reset Blood. Great video on it. I will say you missed a few things that I may have covered, but you know overall it was pretty satisfactory. You can't expect everyone to be able to really get into the nitty gritty of things like I'm able to. What if the anal beads, but a cock ring? Did I read that wrong, or are you saying what if it wasn't anal beads, but it was a cock ring? That's ridiculous. Is it Tier 1 Lewis in the Prime Bibbles? Thanks to the resub, Zaxxon. How much do we need to pay you to try beadfish? No, I'm way too afraid to put things in my ass. I was trying to show Tiana my asshole like 3 weeks ago because I thought I had like a hemorrhoid or like a mini prolapse or something, and I was so ashamed. I couldn't. I can't put anything in there. Never. Like when the toilet paper rips, I panic. I don't know, it's just like my ass was really itchy and I didn't know why, so I started panicking. I was like, "Hey, come here." I tried. I couldn't even bend over for her because I felt so much shame. If she was still awake, I'd let her tell her perspective. That was a very pathetic 45 minutes of struggle. But yeah, like there's no way I'd be able to do anal bead cheating. No shot. That's just not for me. I'm not built for that kind of cheating. I'll just do the old-fashioned like phone in the pocket or something. There's the resub Randy, Dave, and Rain. The gift sub Insomnia. And the bits Pyromaniac. It's okay, guys. She's a vet. Yeah, true. Not like a war veteran, though that would have also been helpful trying to see my asshole, but she's like a veterinarian, a vet tech. Thanks to the gift sub Pyromaniac. Or the bits. Thank you for that. Oh, good point, Stoned. Didn't even think of that theory. True, Polar. Good point. Thanks for your sub Llama and Jalisa. How's the kitty? I was doing great. She's been doing well. And the dogs love her, so that's great. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even see this message. I think getting cancelled can be a colossal hit on your viewership, but most of the time if you're large enough to get cancelled, then you're still making enough money for it to be a full-time job, which really doesn't feel like getting cancelled to me. That was Ludwig's message. I'm sorry I didn't see that initially. You still here, Lud? Because yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out as well, because there's so many cases on both sides of the spectrum where someone goes through like a full cancelling and maintains somehow similar viewership, but then other times where it completely ruins them. And there's really no through line that shows any kind of pattern on what plays into that. The only one that maintains true is if the person themselves steps away, or the person themselves keeps like bringing it up or something, then they're fucked. But like the people that put their head down and try and ignore it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and there's really no pattern to it. Get Ludwig to sponsor Moist on Omega Strikers. Oh, I got no doubt Ludwig's on Team Moist for Omega Strikers. We gotta get in the we gotta get the first spot, man. If Team Moist takes the first, if we finish with the most wins in the season, we get 3% of that game's entire net revenue for the entire season. That could finance Moist Esports for a fucking year. So yeah, if you guys play Omega Strikers, click on the top right where it says Creator Event. Then click the drag down arrow and join Team Moist. Everyone you get helps. Shit would be huge. This isn't like a sponsored segment or anything, by the way. They're doing this crazy competition where whatever team gets first place gets 3% of their net revenue and a skin in the game. But bro, 3% of net revenue is crazy. Do I get a percentage? You get a percentage in content. Like you get to watch Moist Esports grow and pop off. Thanks to the resub, Lamio and Thresh. Thoughts on the future of OTK? That's a great question. I have no idea. It really seems like pretty much no one besides a few people at OTK knew about this. And by a few, I mean like literally 2, it seems. And the rest are outraged. So I really don't know. And I think OTK having like a third-party investigation to go through everything is good as long as it's like a reputable firm that does the sweep. But there's really no telling. Like, I really think Tectone's take on it, but I don't know why he was really calling out X, because I don't think X generalized the org, at least not that I heard. But Tectone talking about how unacceptable it is, Asman talking about how unacceptable it was, even though Asman, I think, went a little too far with some of the things he said. But, like, clearly, not many people knew about it.